The real tennis rankings revealed Sabalenka, Swiatek, Osaka and Raducanu in the mix. The WTA rankings provide a snapshot of the current state of play in the women's game, but they might not offer an insight into the current form of the top players. Aryna Sabalenka confirmed she is the queen of women's tennis as she successfully defended her US Open title earlier this month, and she is favorite to finish the year as world number 1. Her longtime rival Iga Swiatek is hot on her heels once again after an impressive return to form saw her win her first Wimbledon title in July. Yet the current form of the chasing pack may not be reflected in the updated WTA rankings. Here is our Tennis 365 assessment of the pecking order of the women's game. 1. Aryna Sabalenka, WTA Rankings number 1. Sabalenka has been disappointed too many times for her liking in 2025, with her defeats in the Australian Open and French Open finals sparking inner desire to put it right at the US Open. The Belarusian responded impressively to lift the title in New York, and she is the undisputed world number 1. 2. Iga Swiatek, WTA Ranking number 2. Swiatek has been one of the big talking points of this tennis season, with her slide in form at the start of the year backed up by a revival that included wins at Wimbledon and the WTA 1000 tournament in Cincinnati. She fell short of her own expectations at the US Open, but will be a threat heading into the Asian and indoor swing on the WTA Tour. 3. Amanda Anisimova, WTA Ranking, number 4. The American number 1 is up to number 4 in the WTA rankings after her thrilling run to the US Open final, but she may well be the third best player in the world right now. After reaching the final of the last 2 Grand Slam events, Anisimova has lifted her reputation to an entirely different level, and she should be recognized as a contender for all major titles from this point forward. 4. Naomi Osaka, WTA Ranking number 14. After a solid run of results saw her reach the final of the WTA 1000 tournament in Montreal prior to the US Open, Osaka then reached the semi-finals in New York, and she had chances to beat Anisimova in that last 4 match. Osaka's game has been unleashed since she exploded back to form after dispensing of the services of coach Patrick Mouratoglou, and she will fancy her chances of getting in the mix for another Grand Slam title in 2026. 5. Jessica Pegula, WTA Ranking number 6. Pegula struggled for large sections of 2026, but she was back to her best as she reached the semi-finals at the US Open, and she pushed Sabalenka all the way in that last 4 contest. That run should inspire the American to push for more in the final weeks of the season, with her form now pointing in the right direction once again. 6. Aryna Sabalenka, WTA Ranking number 10. The former Wimbledon champion has not enjoyed her most consistent season in 2025 for a variety of reasons, but she remains one of the most feared players in the women's game. When Rybakina is at her best, she can take anyone to the cleaners, including Sabalenka and Swiatek. The trouble is, she has too many days when he radar it off target. 7. Mira Andreeva, WTA Ranking number 5. Still only 18, Andreeva will need time to get her to best, and that might not come for another 2 or 3 years at least. If she can avoid injuries and add some more power to her game, this engaging youngster is the player to watch over the next few years. 8. Coco Gauff, WTA Ranking number 3. It is remarkable to recall that Gauff was French Open champion in June, and her game, and especially that temperamental serve, has fallen apart since then. She needs to take time to get the serving issues resolved with her new technical coach Gavin McMillan, and if that area of her game is repaired, she will instantly be a contender for all the top titles once again. 9. Jasmine Paolini, WTA Ranking number 8. This has been an up-and-down season for the Italian, who triumphantly lifted the WTA 1000 title in front of her home fans in Rome back in May, with her setbacks since then more plentiful than her successes. Paolini's fine run to the final in Cincinnati last month means she is in contention to seal a place in the lucrative WTA finals if she can have a strong end to the end. 10. Clara Tauson, WTA Ranking number 12. Tauson has been a thorn in the side of the top players in women's tennis this season, with Iga Swiatek and Madison Keys among her victims on her run to the semi-finals in Montreal last month. A gutsy performer who can get a lot of balls back into court, she is an outside contender to claim one of the 8 spots up for grabs in the WTA Finals. 11. Ekaterina Alexandrova, WTA ranking number 11. Alexandrova has won the 4th most matches on the women's tour this year, with only Sabalenka, Swiatek and Pegula claiming more wins. She has come up short against the biggest hitters in tennis, but is a consistent performer who is currently sitting in 10th place in the WTA race rankings. 12. Emma Raducanu, WTA ranking number 34. Raducanu's results against the top players suggest she is still some way off contending for the biggest prizes in tennis, but her record against most players outside of that elite 3 or 4 has been exceptional in 2025. Adding more power to her serve will allow her to stay in matches against players of Sabalenka, Swiatek and Rybakina's class, but she is knocking on the door of a return to the top 10 of the rankings at some point next year if she continues her progress.